Nick Robinson, this video game I'm about to show you is a broken piece of shit.
It doesn't look done. How about we come back?
It's not done. It's unfinished. None out of 10. None stars.
What if we come back in like 9 to 12 months and maybe they'll have it together? But this does not look ready.
Wait a minute. Could it possibly be a game inside a game? A double game?
A double game.
It is, in fact, exactly that. This is the Magic Circle, a game that launched on Steam, I want to say last week. And it is super cool. I played basically all of it yesterday because I kind of couldn't put it down. Here's the premise, okay? The game is set in this game inside of a game that has been trapped in development hell, essentially.
Okay.
You get a lot of stuff like this, right? Where it's just like, oh, this game's just not done.
Right.
Nothing has like color. A lot of things don't have texture because it's just not done. The game's not done. It's trapped in development hell. Funders have backed out. The creator of the game is too ambitious, and just like everything that could possibly go wrong with the game has gone wrong. So you start out playing this game and you beat it in like 2 minutes. You're a playtester in the game, but then you get kind of deeper into it and you gain sort of the ability to chop and screw shit in the game.
Okay.
To maybe finish it yourself, or maybe just sort of humiliate the creators. And you have a friend in the game who, I don't want to get into story beats too much, and this video won't be very long because I really don't want to spoil anything about the game. But this is an ability you get where you can hop into essentially the programming of the different inhabitants of this world and make them do all kinds of stuff to solve puzzles, or maybe just like try and do funny shit. So basically you have an inventory of behaviors. So whenever you find a new thing, you can strip it for parts and gain these new behaviors and then stitch them into other things. So there I just made that Howler, which is sort of a basic monster, fight his friends. But there were 2 against 1, so I'm gonna actually even the odds here and make this one my buddy. You can change like the alignments of characters, you can change their abilities, and you have to do this to solve puzzles in the game to try and find a way out of the game. So on top of this mechanic, which is really, really fun, there is a larger story going on, and it's sort of it's one of the better like games about games I've ever played, because it's about like the creation of games. It's not all just like references to old classic games. It's like references to Richard Garriott and like his creation process.
Yeah, I mean, the entire premise sounds very, like when you said a creator whose ambitions outstripped his resources, I was wondering if the bad guy's name was like Ken Bovine or something. Like
I think there's a little bit of that, right? Like some of the dev team, the creator of this game is called Question Games. Some of them came from the BioShock team. Like I think it's a lot of this game is about sort of the ratio of practicality to ambition that sort of defines game development. And I found it really, really interesting. Some of the stuff, some of the storytelling is a little bit muddled, a little bit heavy-handed, but like it's a subject that not a lot of games tackle, and I got really, really into it.
Yeah.
So this main mechanic really goes to some pretty crazy places. This is an example of like one like sort of puzzle solution. Like I found this guy, and one of his abilities opens doors, essentially. I used him. I could have just stripped that ability off of him and given it to one of these rats, or I could have given it to a corpse that I bring around with me. You can make it so that corpses walk around and fight for you and create zombies, essentially. Like each puzzle has dozens and dozens of different solutions. Here I've killed myself in an airlock, and now I'm a ghost, and I can go outside into space. So there's sort of a Soul Reaver mechanic going on too.
The visuals are really like definitely unlike any game I've ever looked at with my eyes before.
Yeah, like, well, that was one of the interesting things. And again, I don't want to get too deep into the story, but there's also in addition to this fantasy world, there's a space game in there as well. And you can sort of move between the two at points. Here's another cool sort of puzzle. I've made this turtle, which is essentially a walking platform, fireproof, so you can get through this lava. And I saw a rock on the other side of the lava, so I made it that turtles hate rocks. So this turtle's gonna go fight that rock and carry me across the lava because he's fireproof now.
Is it so? Great. It almost seems like. It seems vaguely like Hack and Slash, that Double Fine game, except for maybe a little less in the nitty-gritty code and a little more streamlined.
Yeah, there's no like numbers to deal with. You're basically just the attributes that you're putting on these things you have stripped off of other things. So this is when shit got crazy for me, as I found this teleport pad. I stripped it for parts, and then all of a sudden I can turn any of these creatures. And by the way, at this point I'm the Pied Piper. I'm like bringing the entire every like
Dozens
creature.
Of rats.
And the game lets you do that too. I've turned this turtle into a teleport turtle now. So now that turtle is a teleport pad, and I'm gonna use him to like solve every puzzle in the game from now on. But yeah, you can become the Pied Piper and make every single creature you come across your ally, and then you can instantly summon them at any point, and then you have like 40 creatures following you, each with their own like unique programming. You can also edit the names of the creatures, which I didn't do in this video, but you can make this Juggodillo a Juggalo-dillo if you want.
That's a little first draft. I feel like you can.
I can do way better than that. Check that out though. I threw a teleport turtle to the other side to get that key, and then all of a sudden I teleported the key. I don't think that's how this puzzle was supposed to be solved, and I did it. And then I summoned my teleport turtle, and then teleported back into space, and then my key was just sitting there waiting for me. It's one of the best things about the game, like this idea of you just sort of breaking these dumb solutions into it. But yeah, this is the Magic Circle. I don't want to show any more than I already have. It's a really, really, really clever game. And if you're interested at all in like what goes into making games, this may not be like the most accurate sort of depiction of that, but it has like an interesting story to tell about.
You'd recommend it?
Development hell. Absolutely, I would. Yeah, I beat it very quickly because I couldn't put it down. And now to finish the video, this dumb solution I did where I burned the world down. Whoops.
Oopsie.
Oops-a-daisy.